Hey guys, welcome to the Big Talk with Austin. I'm so excited for this episode. Thank you to Evan for returning. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, interesting stuff to talk about, and maybe some raging in this episode. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's get into the episode.
The first thing that we're going to talk about is HBO Max is replace Batman v Superman theatrical cut with the unlimited edition cut, which is
Yes.
it's kind of odd that they did that. I mean, I have the ultimate edition in my collection over there. I haven't watched it ever since I got it. I tried to watch the Ultimate Edition part. I'm like, this is way too freaking long. I'm like, I can't, and so I might give it a rewatch. But it's kind of weird that they don't want like the original version of it on HBO. It's like DC doesn't want that to be remembered, so they're like, let's put the Ultimate on there, and so
It's a good move on their part, though. Just because the Ultimate Edition, it's just so much better. And you understand Superman so much more. Because that was one of the biggest complaints with just the theatrical cut, is that Superman just felt so zombie-like.
yeah, he was just like, it felt like he was just a plot device. But I mean, even like would we even call him Lex Luthor? All right, Lex Luthor. Is it? I don't even think it's even Lex Luthor. I think it's like,
It's Lex Luthor's son,
yeah,
so
that's right. And like they even try to give him a little bit more with the Ultimate Edition, from my
yeah.
knowledge.
I think it's a lot better, though.
I mean, it doesn't really do a whole lot. Maybe if you're rating it, it'd probably bump you up a point, but not a whole lot. Because I mean, the regular version was almost 3 hours long in general, and this makes it 3 hours long. So they probably add like like 20 minutes to it. So
That's why I think the Snyder Cut of Justice League will not. It's going to be a good movie, but it's not going to be very popular,
yeah,
just because it's going to be so long that they're thinking about splitting up into like 5 hour long episodes, and like
yeah,
that's so crazy.
they're making, so they're splitting into 6 parts, and they're making each part an hour long.
I mean, personally, I'm really excited about that just because it's more content with Ben Affleck as Batman, but some people aren't excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I just don't care that much. Well, I guess speaking of another cut, so Rocky 4, Sylvester Stallone has confirmed that he's working on a director's cut for that, which makes no sense because this came out in 1980. What, like in the 1980s? Yeah, 1985.
How
So
many
how's
Rockies are there?
uh if so there's 6, and next there's 2 more if you're including the Creed, so making 8.
So I've seen the first two Creeds and the first two Rockies.
Okay, well, those are the only ones that matter. I
I
mean,
just can't believe that there's 6 Rockies.
I mean, the 6th one's actually not that bad. It's a little bit more different, but it's better than the 5th one. But yeah, some reason out of all of them, 4 is getting a director's cut, which I don't know how that's going to work out unless they're just going to take deleted scenes. It's like, hey, yeah, that's our director's cut, and like, so I don't know. But he's also working on Rambo Last Blood cut, which Rambo Last Blood wasn't that
Ooh.
bad. So
I've been wanting to watch that. Was
yeah,
it good?
it's actually pretty good. It's like Home Alone and Taken, like both combined. There isn't really a story. It's just mostly like fun action, which is mostly what Rambo movies are about. So
The first one had a really good story though.
mhm.
And yeah, it was just action most of the time.
Yeah, so nothing really else to say. I don't like I don't even know why he is deciding. I mean, the Creed movies are doing well, but doesn't mean this is going to do well, because Rocky 4 is the second worst. no, is it the second worst one in the? I think it's the
I have
second
no
worst
idea.
one in the Rocky films because Rocky 5 is obviously the worst one. Maybe Rocky 3, but Rocky 3 still had a little bit of fun to it. Rocky 4 is just mostly sad and depressing. So I don't know. And next thing he gives this stupid little speech at the end that just felt tagged in. But all right. Next news is Jurassic World Dominion. What? That's a dumb name. I was about to say Domination, which sounds way cooler than Dominion. It sounds like a Minion movie from the Despicable Me's. So the news about this is that Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and Lauren Dern is going to appear throughout the whole entire film, which is good. So that's actually very interesting because I'm actually a huge Jurassic Park fan. I just bought the Blu-ray version. I always wanted to get the Blu-ray version, just literally couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm like, well, you know what? I found it at this one local store. It's like $5. I'll take it. It's like, yeah, sure. It's Jurassic Park. I do have the DVD version, but watching it on Blu-ray was just amazing. So, but I'm not really I'm looking forward to Jurassic World Dominion. But Jurassic World, the first one was pretty good. The CGI wasn't that great. The second one, but
Oh, was that Fallen Kingdom?
yeah, Fallen Kingdom.
I will admit that there were
the first part was good. The first part it was good,
act.
but then when it got to the mansion, I was like, what?
It just didn't make any sense, and it was just too Hollywood.
Let's sell dinosaurs. I mean,
let's sell dinosaurs.
I guess so. But why do you need live dinosaurs? Can you just sell them like the embryos, like the DNA or whatever? But I guess half the people weren't even scientists in there. But yeah, so that's cool to hear though. The original cast is returning, which is kind of cool. Hopefully none of them get killed off, because if they do like Star Wars type of style where they kill off like the original cast members, I'm gonna be a little pissed, because I would not like to see Sam Neill was honestly my favorite character from the Jurassic Park movies. Jeff Goldblum was cool, but in the first one I was like, just
I don't really like Jeff Goldblum's character in Jurassic Parks. He's a cool character.
The Lost World, I liked him in that one much better than the first one. Which I don't know how you feel about The Lost World, but I like The Lost World. I think it's a fun movie. Lauren Dern's character was pretty good in the movie. Definitely had a crush on her at the time. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, did you not see her final, costume? Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to say. I mean, hopefully it's not.
When is that coming out?
It's coming out June 11th, 2021. So,
okay, that's pretty short.
But production was pushed back because of everything that's been going on. So maybe it might get pushed back, but I think they might be done by now, because production's like about 3 months, and they started about a month before the pandemic, and so I think they just finished up or something like that. Yeah, nothing really else to say about it. Hopefully, because what I'm expecting from this movie, with it being taking place on the mainland, I'm hoping like like in the Lost World with the T-Rex, I'm hoping with that, but on a bigger scale. Because I mean, if you're gonna do that, I kind of want to see people die, even though that sounds terrible to say. But if you're going to do that, people must die. Or it's
not a Jurassic movie if people don't die.
I mean, like, because what's the point of having them? Shut up, Sherry. What's the point of having the dinosaurs on the mainland if no one's going to die? And so, I mean, there's got to be casualties. And so, yeah, that's all I mean, I just hope for something better than the second one, and hopefully that the freaking Velociraptor military whatever bullshit doesn't come back. Oh
my gosh, that guy was so annoying.
It's dumb, but whatever, fine. Continuing on, more DC. I mean, we should have probably talked about this one after Batman vs Superman, but whatever. The Batman spinoff Forces on Gotham PD coming to HBO Max is a prequel series. So so it has the picture of I don't remember the cop from Christopher Bale's trilogy. I can't remember the name of the actor.
Christian Bale.
Well, no, like that plays the cop, like
Oh.
But so they have a picture of him on the main page. So I think it's going to be in that universe. I mean, why would it not be if he's going to be the main picture? So, but yeah, some people are kind of like saying like no about this, but I mean, so it's supposed to be like Gotham from what I've been reading, which Gotham wasn't too bad. I mean, I like the first couple seasons, but then after a while, I'm like, I'm just gonna no. But so I don't know. I don't know if you heard about this, or so. What is your thoughts on this?
I mean, I kind of heard about it, but honestly, it's gonna be a cool thing to watch. I don't know if I'll watch it though. Maybe I will. But I just watched The Killing Joke last night. The animated one. Have you seen that?
No, but I know some of
That's
the
with Joker's alternate
Yeah, isn't it on Netflix?
origin. No, it's on HBO Max. Do you have HBO Max?
No, but I can get it.
I mean, you should get it just so you can, because all of like the Batman animated shorts are on there.
Maybe when the Last of Us TV show comes out, because isn't that supposed to be on HBO Max? From what I've been hearing.
Last of Us TV show?
They're working on it, so if that's on HBO Max,
like Avatar live TV show.
Yeah. But
anyway.
But yeah, so if I'll probably get HBO Max just because of the Snyder Cut, but we don't have to worry about that for a while.
I guess while we're talking about
where you were saying something.
Oh yeah, while we're on the topic of TV shows, so apparently.
Oh wait, hold on. If we're gonna go to that, no, that's the last thing that we're gonna talk about because that's
No. I'm talking about another TV show.
Okay.
I'm talking about Avatar.
All right. Oh.
So I don't know if The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Have you watched that yet?
I'm still on the first season. I haven't really watched it after I watched it with you. I watched a couple of episodes after you though.
Ever since the Avatar: The Last Airbender, the TV show, not the movie, came onto Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been rising in popularity, just because old fans are just really nostalgic over it, and there's so many new fans that are just like, "Oh, this is the best kids TV show ever, or best animated show." And
yeah.
So apparently Netflix. This is I think 3 months ago when Netflix teased. I think that they're going to be doing a live action Avatar TV show that follows kind of the same story.
Don't have the guy that directed the movie. I can't remember his name.
I know the movie is so bad, but apparently they're having the two people who did direct it, having direct the TV show, directed the TV show.
That's gonna be different though, because that was hand drawn.
Yeah,
it wasn't. So I don't know. So maybe they can pull it off, but there's two different filming type of skills in that. So,
and I think that they're having most of the same people who did work on Avatar: The Last Airbender just to come back on, and I think it's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be as bad as the movie. The live action movie, because you can't get any worse than that. But there's just something so special about that animated TV show, just because it's the characters that we know and love, and when you try to interpret them on screen, it's just, I don't know how I feel about live action interpretations.
Well, is it considered anime? It's probably American anime, but
like Nickelodeon anime.
Yeah, so. I mean, people like their anime. and I'm gonna consider it as anime because it feels like anime. But yeah, I mean, I watched that show a little bit as a kid. It wasn't like a big thing as a kid. I was like, oh, that's cool. Well, off to SpongeBob. But so like it's just wasn't something I would watch. This is not something I would watch as a kid. But with my brain actually knowing what good shows are, I enjoyed how many. I think I'm on episode 11 in the first season. There's not a lot of episodes in the first season. I think there's like 13.
I think there's 20 episodes in
20.
each season.
I think they're now thinking about I can look, but yeah, I'm not too far ahead in the season though. But I mean,
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting, and what made it interesting, like what made it fresh is that the episodes are really short. Like they're really short. They're like about 15 to 20 minutes long, and so it's what kept it fresh. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And like even how short they were, that they kept the characters like interesting, and like they fleshed them out in that short amount of time. Because you're not gonna have like 30-minute long episodes of hand drawn and cartoon characters. But I mean you can do that now these days, but it's even harder. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about, this is the one that really pisses me off, because this is one of my favorite franchises until fucking just all right. Fast 9 is it's teasing the franchise that could go to space. What? What is happening? What has happened? Ever since after the pass away of Paul Walker, they just took the series in a fucking completely different direction, and it felt like they're pissing on the whole entire franchise. And people are starting to like the franchise because of the Fast and the Furious franchise, Fast 9. Yes, so I don't understand why people are liking this now, because apparently people don't like racing movies, which is fine. You don't have to like racing movies, but this is a racing franchise, and if you're gonna go see this movie called Fast and the Furious, it's gonna be about racing. It's not about racing anymore. It's about freaking agents and like saving the world. It's like, what? Like, you gotta be, and like the dumbest shit happens, and like, if I don't know if you saw the Fast 9 trailer, but Dom gets hit with a fucking car that is flown at him, and he's just fine. This franchise was, if you watch the first Fast and Furious, if you watch the first 5, this is so there's stuff like you can't like that feels unrealistic, but most of the time this is set in a realistic world and not set in like a Marvel verse. They're trying to make, now after Fast 5, they're like, Marvel movies are sick now. We gotta make Marvel movies, because honestly I didn't mind Fast 6 or 7, but 8 really pissed me off. I mean, like it's so it's dumb. I don't understand. There's this TV show now, like animated TV show on Netflix, like Fast and the Furious Spy Racers or whatever. It was stupid, but that was more aimed to kids, and so whatever. But yeah, it's just the franchise got dumb after like the 5th one, and it's like,
I can't believe that there's gonna be a 9th movie.
There's like supposed to be like 12. There's supposed to be like 12 or like 10. Like I think 10's actually supposed to be the last one, but I've been hearing like 11 and 12. I'm like, what?
I think that they're just trying to attract a different audience, but that's where it goes wrong. Is because you're not.
But see, the thing is, you're not only attracting new audience, you're pissing off the original audience.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that happened with like the last season of Clone Wars too, where it's like they try to attract a new audience with the Martez sisters, and you're like, dude, this is the final season of Clone Wars. This is not for some 6-year-old girl to watch. This is for a 30-year-old man to watch.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. It's. I mean, like, I'm fine with like. See, if Vin Diesel wants to go off and be Tom Cruise or whatever, don't go do that in your own freaking movie. Go. Don't do it on a movie that's been from a movie that's been out for like. Well, I don't remember when the first Fast and Furious movie. I think it was like 2001 when the first one came out. But so like it's just like seriously. Why do you what gave this idea of like, hey, let's become superheroes in a realistic world? Because it honestly it should have stopped at Furious 7. It really should have. Just the
Is
respect.
that one good? Is Furious 7 good?
It's fine for what it is. I mean, but
Which one's your favorite?
probably the second one, Too Fast, Too Furious. That's pretty good. The first one's all, but I really like the first one more. But the Too Fast, Too Furious one takes it a little bit in a different direction. It's like it turns into like a buddy cop movie, which is kind of cool. It's different from the first one, even though it's kind of similar to the first one, but it has a different twist to it. But it's just like why like and if you watch the trailer, they bring back Han, which fuck. How does a guy from an exploding car that you literally see him in explode survive? I mean, like if you watch it closely, there's no way that he got out. He what?
RoboCop.
I mean,
RoboCop, though.
it sounds like it. I mean, if that's what it is, that's what Hobbs and Shaw is RoboCop, but evil RoboCop. But like, but the dumbest. But I didn't think it would get this dumb. Is going to space. What?
It is?
Yeah. Like that's what the article is about. Is that it can go to space. I'm like, why? What's gonna happen? Is there gonna be like races on on the moon? Is there gonna be like are we gonna be drifting in like those like craters and like skateboarding? Like what's gonna be like? What are we gonna have like freaking like starships races? Like what is gonna like what?
That's so annoying.
But I mean, half these movies now are not even about races. Even though this franchise called Fast and the Furious, not spy the fuck shit.
Just you getting so mad. It's so funny because it's just so frustrating.
I mean, like, I've been told a lot about by people that are starting to like the series is that like they're taking it into a new direction. Like you can fuck off. I'm like, if I'm like, okay, you know what? Tell me a franchise that that you really like right now that's still going on.
Oh gosh. Come back to me on that one. I'll think.
No, because I'm trying to take it to a point here. But okay, whatever.
I mean, you could compare it to Star Wars.
Okay, fine.
That's a good one.
Fine.
But it's not continuing anymore.
Well, technically, but
yeah.
So let's okay. You know what? Scrap the sequels. Let's say like okay, like Disney's finally coming out with a sequel for Star Wars. It's like taking Star Wars and taking all and just taking all this imagination and taking it into like reality, just making it so real that there's no lightsabers, there's no force, nothing. It's like doing that. It's like destroying your own favorite franchise. It's like I watched the beginning. I was here since the beginning of this franchise. Well, sort of. I was
a baby.
Sort of. But you know, I watched it basically from the beginning when I was like able to watch it, and they were doing good before Fast 6 and 7 came out and whatever, and all its crappiness, and so like it's like if I went and took your favorite franchise and just did whatever I fucking want with it, and like made it and like just doing whatever I want that didn't add up to what the franchise originally was. And so it should have ended at Fast 5, to be honest. It should have ended there. Paul Walker might have, based technically still around. But it's just like, whatever. All right, let's continue on. I mean, I ranted a little bit there, but we had to talk about it.
It's good. It's good.
When I first saw this, I'm like, fuck. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, I'll let you take a hold of this part, but I'm going to set it up first. Monday that was announced that the Bad Batch, was it Monday that the Bad Batch TV show has been announced? And so, which, I mean, cool, I guess. I mean, they weren't really a big part of the 7th season. I don't really know a lot of the characters of the Bad Batch besides Echo, and so I mean, sure, why not? I guess, but you know more about the announcement than I do. So is it supposed to be like, you tell me, you tell the audience that what you sent me, like what you talked about
Yeah.
in the paragraphs.
So when I first heard about the announcement, I was like, cool, I guess, because I thought it was just going to take place during the Clone Wars too.
Yeah, I thought
I've been dying for a TV show or any sort of material to come right after Order 66.
Yeah.
And that actually, Bad Batch, the show, is supposedly, it's rumored to come out and to take place like right after Order 66.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't they also have the chips in their heads as well, or no? Because it never explains. So if they do have the chips, should it start before Order 66, and they realize something isn't right, so then they take the chips some way out, and
obviously
they explain it?
There would be no show if they didn't get their chips taken out.
Well,
because they would just
supposed to be about
Empire. I don't know, actually.
Are they supposed to join the Empire, or like what's going to happen? Because Echo doesn't have the chip, from my knowledge. Because didn't they take that out, or does he still have it?
I don't know. I think that's like a big plot hole that we'll obviously see. But
yeah,
my guess is that they are not going to have the chip, or since they're all like dysfunctional clones, or like genetically mutated clones, just because like one's smart, one's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, I don't know, their chip might have been compromised or something. But I don't know, there's 3 like main plot holes that hopefully the Bad Batch can fix or just kind of cover over. So the first one, I'll just start off like how the Republic became like the Empire. Like, just because the Fallen Order is like the first time we see like kind of that bridge, and even in your walkthrough on your gaming channel, you can just see that it's kind of already transitioned.
Yeah.
It's a slow transition, but we haven't seen it, and that's something that I've been really excited to see, and I hope that we can see it in Bad Batch.
Yeah, and I just want to, and like I want to see like more like young Darth Vader. I mean, that's just me. I want to see Anakin. I feel bad that he didn't get a part in season 7. I'm still upset about that. But so they can do anything what they want for this series. I mean, like how many seasons are they planning for? Like,
I don't know.
So we already know that this. I think it's probably going to be a short season. I think it's going to be like at least 6 episodes long. It's probably going to be that.
Yeah, hopefully, because A New Hope takes 19 years after Order 66.
Yeah,
which is a long time.
It's basically, Fallen Order took place 9 years, like 10 years after Order 66.
And I don't really want it to focus around the main characters that we've seen in the Skywalker trilogy. Like, yeah. I'm fine if we see Darth Vader or like Ahsoka. But yeah. I'd rather it focus on
because we don't know where Rex has been throughout this timeline, so he could have found the Bad Batch and because that's probably what he was originally going to do, is go off and find Echo and the Bad
Yeah.
Batch and team up with them, and maybe they that can tie into like the rebels and Rex finding his two buddies that we found on the desert planet, whatever planet you want to call it, in Rebels, and I see he goes off into hiding. And I would like to see, so if they do that, I would like to see Rex encounter Darth Vader, because I think that would be a cool little
that would
thing,
be cool.
because it'd be like, well, you're still around. I don't know. I mean, they could do something cool, like something much better than the Ahsoka encounter, which was pretty good, but because I want something, if they're gonna do something like that, because I really like to see, two old friends that have different point of views come back together and fight it out. I would like to see that type of stuff drawn out and have it rip these two characters apart and until there's nothing left, because you can just do so much with it. But yeah, so if they're gonna do this, maybe have the Bad Batch be like a type of show where each episode's about a different character and it takes place in different part of the universe. I mean, even if it could, even the Outer Rims, because we absolutely know nothing about the Outer Rims, zero. And so they could do some stuff with the Outer Rims and whatever.
Yeah, and that leads me to the second plot hole that Bad Batch could kind of fix, and that's more about the crime syndicates and a little backstory about them, because in the Clone Wars finale, Maul sends the leaders of the 3 crime syndicates, the Black Sun, the Pikes, and Crimson Dawn, into hiding. And by the time of Solo, the Pikes and Crimson Dawn, they seem to be doing just fine. And it's 10 years since we see them from Order 66 to Solo, and it's honestly
well, isn't Solo
what happened between them. And I think that would be something really cool to see, just because Solo kind of introduced us to that, and Disney, I feel like they're trying to push over to the outer
they're trying to push to more of the Outlaws, which I can see, because isn't Solo 10 years also after Order 60?
Yeah, it takes 10 years from between Order 66 to Solo, and that's just so much time. And honestly,
because I mean, they can also throw Darth Maul in here too, because Darth Maul has literally been treated like crap even though they brought him back. I mean, the first season that they brought him back, he's completely gone after for the most of the season. He returns the next season, and next he's like, I'm back and again, and he gets defeated by his master, and he disappears again. And next he shows up in season 7, disappears, shows up in Rebels, disappears, shows up in Solo, disappears. So maybe they can make him the main villain in this series. And so they can run encounters and try to stop these these big what would you call them, I guess you can call them the Syndicate. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay. It reminds me of
just
Mission Impossible. That's why I'm
think of them as gangs, or not really gangs, just I don't know. Just call them the crime syndicates.
I mean, we don't know a whole lot. Is it hopefully that it is the Clone Wars animated?
I think it will be the Clone Wars animation.
Because Rebels,
just like the season 7.
Because because of the Rebels 2 series, whatever I don't know the name of it, but the one that's supposed to be set up in The Mandalorian is supposed to be Clone Wars animated as well. So maybe they can keep that going. But I kind of don't want to see. I kind of don't want to see lightsabers at all in this season. TV show. I want it to be more like The Mandalorian, more Old West type of style. And so I mean, like, because we've seen enough of like lightsaber battles, and I would like it to more focus on just like, if it's gonna focus on the Bad Batch, focus on them and see what problems they go through. Because when we saw them in season 7, they have no problems. I mean, they have little arguments, but it's like they're like brother fights basically. They're like sibling fights. So it's like, eh.
And I think this is the perfect opportunity to like dive deeper into the crime syndicates with Bad Batch, because if they're not working for the Empire, then chances are the only way that they can do these like high-paying jobs is the crime syndicates, which is probably where they'll end up. And I guess the last plot hole, that probably the most important plot hole that everyone's wondering, is like what happened from the bridge between clones and stormtroopers during Order 66. Like, did they
even like
Yeah.
in season 7, it was like a really big time jump at the end of the season. I think like maybe like 5 years. It sounds like about right, 5 years. Like a so, because you already see them in their stormtrooper
I think
outfit.
that most of the Empire, like the stormtroopers or just people that serve there, I think that they were just like regular people that like signed up. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like really confusing, and we have no idea like what even happened during that time. And that's why I'm overall really excited for this show, just because whatever happens after Order 66 is probably like the most unexplored time.
Yeah, I don't even think the comic books even explore it, from my knowledge. I don't really read the comic books,
And
but
yet
I
it
haven't.
seems like the biggest,
Yeah,
like it would be the most explored, but it's
because I
not.
have not really heard about any comic books besides like certain like storylines, like like Darth Vader trying to get a apprentice or something, whatever. Like there's been games on it, but like there's been really nothing based off of like right after Order 66 from what I've heard. So this is kind of cool. I would like some movies as well.
Yeah.
Thank you again to Evan for joining me in this episode. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully that you can return for another time in the future. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my rage moment about, Fast and the Furious, leaks, stuff, whatever bullshit. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys very much for enjoying me with this episode. Like always, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.